Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. So today I'm painting an anti-hero from the X-Men Marvel United board game. This is Magneto. Why I say anti-hero is because he can be played as a hero or as a villain. He is primed in Army Painter's plate mail metal, and the reason for that is because he's very metallic, right? And he's got a whole bunch of metal stuff on him and around him and his armor and all that stuff. So we're going to be doing a little bit of everything here. And we're starting off with a little bit of dark tone on those girders. At first, I was hoping I had something else in mind for this, but we'll see how that turns out later on. Some blood red now for his beautiful shiny helmet, and you can see these spade paints on that plate mail metal is amazing. You get that beautiful metallic shine that comes through, and yeah, and it's way better than the other metal I used to use, metallic paint. Sand Golem now for all these little bits and parts that are stuck to his cape that I guess are floating around him. I decided to put them this color so that they're not just silver. They got a little bit like a rust on it, or sort of like just these are old parts, you know, and stuff like that. Some Zealot yellow now. We're gonna be doing this for his boots. Those two are like metallic. They're like armorish. That's a new word, armor-ish looking, armor looking, and these like little things around his wrists there as well. Using some Hive Dweller purple now for his shorts. Again, why do superheroes or villains wear their underwear on the outside of their pants? That'll always baffle me. I'm also going to do this, like that collar around that's holding up his cape, and the little emblem or the round part of the front of his helmet. I'm leaving the back of the helmet with the silver, like the trim of it, and underneath it, it looks like it's, I might have forgot to do that part. It might have been part of the cape. I noticed it way after. And then now I'm doing Gravelord Gray on top of the girders again. I was like, okay, why is the flat surface not turning out as nice? I don't know what's going on with these girders, but it wasn't taking the paint. Anyways, we'll see what that happens with later, because I got something else for it, which is right now, Fire Giant Orange. Oh, look how this is turning out now. They look like they're rusted. They've got all that dark areas underneath it that make it look like it's been banged up a bit. Okay, these are the girders I wanted. This is what I wanted for this construction area, or whatever he's destroying right now, Magneto. But this is perfect. I love it. I just couldn't get over how this Fire Giant Orange on top of Dark Tone on top of Gravelord Gray just turned out. Some Corpse Pale now on his face. Yeah, I decided to go with a very pale color, but that's okay. We're going to darken it up a little bit later when I wash. Does a perfect job covering everything, and even on top of the silver, you don't see the silver anymore. It's great. Then once that's dry, I'm going to put a little bit of soft skin wash from the Army Painter just on top of that. Now here comes one of the longer parts on this miniature, which is his cape. I'm using, it's actually called Pale Flesh from the Green Horde paint set of Army Painter, but it's actually called Mutant Hue in their war paints. So the entirety of the cape is long to do, plus there's like a whole bunch of, I mean, look, I did those nuts and bolts and all those pieces of metal beforehand, so I got to go around it. If you're smart, you'd probably just paint the whole thing, not care about those nuts and bolts, come back later with a silver, then put the Sand Golem on top of it. But if you put too many paints on top of miniatures, you're going to end up losing some of your details, and you don't want to do that. So there's not much more to say about the painting, but we talk about X-Men Marvel United. If you haven't played this game, it is awesome. It is a great family game. You can play with your kids. It's easy to play. It's a cooperative game from Simon Games. I got the Kickstarter of this, so I have like all the stretch goals and that, and I went through that box and ended up just keeping what enemies or heroes I actually knew from the X-Men universe. The ones I didn't know, I ended up selling. So I ended up selling, I think, like 40 some miniatures out of that box. I didn't know who they were and didn't really care about. Plus there was just too much. Like, why do you need so many minis for a little game like this? It's a little quick game. You don't need 100 miniatures to decide from which hero you want to play. Sure, there's some that have some really cool power-ups in that, but just not worth that many miniatures. Sometimes Simon goes a little overboard with that, just like in their Zombicides or their Cthulhu's and all that stuff. They always go with too many survivors. What's the point? I mean, you don't need 10,000 gunslingers to figure out which one to play with. I'm sorry, give me more abominations, give me more dice, give me more boards, like more layouts, give me more maps, not just free maps every week or whatever, but give me more maps in the rule book or something, or a whole scenario book. Anyways, I'm going on a rant about CMON and their Kickstarters, but I still kickstart them. I can't help myself. Their miniatures are amazing, especially these Marvel United ones. They are bigger scale. They're not your typical size miniatures. I don't know what size these are. They're, I think, 38 millimeter. And their details on these are just amazing. So yeah, when you're painting them, make sure you get those on there. So after that's been dried up, I put some Druke Violet. This is a shade from Citadel. It's not the Army Painter purple tone, because the purple tone is a little bit darker than what I wanted, and I wanted this cape to be a light purple, but with like some nice little recess highlighting in there. And on top of that mutant hue, it just looks amazing. Like it is, I don't know, I'm really proud of how this miniature turns out in the end. He looks amazing. I'm looking forward to painting some more. Again, this was actually asked by one of my friends to paint this. His name is Honest Abe. He's one of my mini boys. We play video games together, we have fun, and he was asking if I could do some of these for him, so I decided to toss them on the channel. Gambit he asked for. The next one he asked for was Jubilee, so she'll be coming up soon. Castle Grey now for the entirety of the base here. We're not doing the rim, just all the rocks and all that stuff. And yeah, I do hit some of those nuts and bolts on the ground, but that's okay. Whenever I put some wash on it later, it'll be really cool. Mars Red now, this is going to be for his shirt and his pants. So it's got like an orangey red color, which is sort of more like the artwork. At first, I was supposed to put the blood red on it, but I was like, well, that would make it way too shiny. Like, it's not supposed to be a shiny outfit. Yeah, his underwear part are shiny and all that, but his helmet is the key focus on this miniature, you know, or on Magneto. That's his helmet. That's the one that keeps Professor X out of his head, you know? Like, you want it to pop a little bit more than his outfit. But everything on this miniature is just amazing and well done. It really brings out the Magneto-ism in this miniature, like everything, the metal flying around, the big girders, the ground cracking and from all the destruction. But like I said before, you can play this guy as a hero, so he does have good side abilities. So you could take him and face Mystique if you want to, which is one of his bigger fans, or friends or frenemies, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and then we're gonna move on just to cover up that red. Once it's dry, we're gonna put a red tone from the Army Painter on top of that. Oh, sorry, no, first we're doing the mid brown on the ground. Never mind, I kind of jumped the gun there. Mid brown on the bottom just to give it a dirty look. Then we're using the red tone. I thought I did the red tone first, but I guess I let it dry a little bit longer to make sure it was gonna stay on there, and just cover it up. And you can see the red gets into the recesses there, just giving a nice little finishing touch. And there you have it, folks. Magneto is ready for the table. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you all in the next one.